He's the country outlaw who smoked weed on the White House roof, beat the IRS with a guitar and a song, and is still writing music at over 90 years old. This is the untamed life of Willie Nelson, a rebel, a legend, and a man who turned his pain into poetry and his guitar into a revolution. You think you know country music? Not until you've heard Willie's story. Let's dive in. Early life. Willie Hugh Nelson, born on April 29, 1933 in Abbott, Texas, USA. Willie Nelson was born during the Great Depression to Ira Doyle Nelson and Merle Marie Greenhaw. His parents were both musically inclined. His father was a mechanic who also played guitar and fiddle, while his mother left the family early in his life. Willie and his older sister, Bobby Nelson, a pianist who later played in his band, were raised by their grandparents, who were both music teachers. They strongly encouraged music in the household, and Willie was introduced to gospel and country music from a young age. He wrote his first song at age 7 and joined his first band, the Texans, at 10 years old. As a child, he picked cotton to help the family but often avoided fieldwork by singing and playing music. Education. High school. Abbott High School, graduated in 1950. He was active in sports and played football, basketball, and baseball. He also played in the school band and local dance halls. College. Baylor University, Waco, Texas. Nelson briefly attended Baylor University in 1954, studying agriculture. He joined the Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity. However, he dropped out after about 2 years to pursue music full-time. Willie Nelson's modest and music-rich upbringing, combined with his early exposure to performance and songwriting, laid the foundation for his long and influential music career. Early career and songwriting, 1950s-1960s. Nelson began performing early, writing his first songs as a child and playing in bands. After some time in the U.S. Air Force briefly, and working as a DJ, he pursued songwriting and moved into music full-time. In 1961, he moved to Nashville to try his hand at writing and performing in the country music hub. Several of his early songs became hits for other artists, even if he was not yet a big star himself. These include Hello Walls, Nightlife, Funny How Time Slips Away, Crazy, famously covered by Patsy Cline. He also became a member of the Grand Ole Opry in 1964. Breakthrough and Outlaw Country, early mid-1970s. Feeling constrained by the Nashville system, Nelson returned to Texas, Austin, in the early 1970s. This move was key in his stylistic evolution. His image changed. Longer hair, more relaxed dress, more artistic control. This helped him connect with counterculture audiences as well as country fans. Albums that marked his emergence as a major artist include Shotgun Willie, 1973, began showing his distinctive voice and stylistic freedom. Phases and Stages, 1974, also critically acclaimed though not immediately commercially huge. Red-Headed Stranger, 1975, a concept album with a sparse, personal storytelling style. Produced his first #1 country hit, Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. This album crossed over into pop charts and firmly cemented his status. Around the mid-1970s, Nelson, along with artists like Waylon Jennings, spearheaded the outlaw country movement. The movement was a reaction to the more polished Nashville sound, emphasizing artistic control, rawer sounds, and blending with rock, folk, etc. Mainstream success, crossovers and films, late 1970s-1980s. Stardust, 1978, a collection of pop standards, Hoagy Carmichael, Irving Berlin, etc., rather than country originals. It was wildly successful commercially, sold millions, and helped him reach beyond country audiences. Hits and collaborations. Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, with Waylon Jennings, late 1970s, became iconic. Biography. Always on My Mind, 1982, a major album with crossover success. To All the Girls I've Loved Before, 1984, duet with Julio Iglesias. Film work. The Electric Horseman, 1979, one of Nelson's early acting roles. Honeysuckle Rose, 1980, included On the Road Again, which became one of his signature songs. That song got nominated, Oscars etc., and won awards. Red-Headed Stranger 1986, film based on his album. Struggles, Activism and Persistence 1990s-2000s. In 1990, the IRS claimed Nelson owed a large sum in back taxes, about $16.7 million United States dollars. This led to seizure of assets. In response, he recorded the IRS tapes, Fool by My Memories 1991, to raise money. Throughout the 1990s, Nelson continued to record prolifically, exploring various musical styles and collaborating widely. Albums like Across the Borderline 1993 and Teatro 1998 showed his continued artistic ambition. He also engaged in philanthropic and political activism. In 1985, Nelson co-founded Farm Aid with Neil Young and John Mellencamp, a benefit concert to support American family farmers during the agricultural crisis. It has become an annual event raising funds and awareness. Late career, elder statesman role, recent work 2010s-2020s. As he aged, much of Willie Nelson's work involved revisiting standards, collaborations, and exploring tribute albums as well as original material. In 1978, Nelson released Stardust, a bold departure that reimagined American pop standards. It was a massive commercial hit and proved country music could blend with other genres. He followed this with a string of successful albums including Always on My Mind, 1982, which featured the hit title track, and Tougher Than Leather, 1983, showing his continued creativity. Collaborative albums became a hallmark of his career, including Honcho and Lefty, 1983, with Merle Haggard and Waylon and Willie, 1978, with Waylon Jennings. Awards and honors in later years include Country Music Hall of Fame induction, 1993. Kennedy Center Honors, 1998. Library of Congress Gershwin Prize for Popular Song, 2015. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, 2023. Collaborations continued, e.g. duets, work with younger and older artists, covers, varied genres. Style, influence and legacy. Nelson's style is distinctive. Relaxed vocal phrasing often behind the beat, his unique guitar trigger, blending of country with folk, jazz, pop standards, and more. He's considered a central figure of Outlaw Country, which changed country music by pushing for creative control, authenticity, genre mixing. He has influenced a vast number of country artists and beyond. His songwriting, both songs he performed and those he gave to others, continues to be widely covered. Marriage and children. Willie Nelson has been married 4 times and has 8 children. First wife, Martha Matthews, 1952-1962, 3 children, Lana, Susie, Billy, deceased. Second wife, Shirley Colley, 1963-1971, no children. Third wife, Connie Kepke, 1971-1988, 2 daughters, Paula and Amy. Fourth wife, Annie D'Angelo, 1991-present, 2 sons, Lucas and Micah. He also has a daughter, Renee, from a previous relationship, discovered later in life. Some of his children, including Lucas, Micah, Paula, and Amy, are musicians. Net worth and income. Estimated net worth, approximately 25 million United States dollars. Annual income sources include royalties and music catalog. Nelson has sold tens of millions of albums worldwide, over 60 million in some reports, including approximately 40 million in the US. His ongoing streaming revenue and rights from songs he wrote or owns continue to contribute significantly. Live performances and tours. Even in his 90s, Willie Nelson remains active on the touring circuit. Shows may bring in 500,000 United States dollars to 750,000 United States dollars per concert, some reportedly more. Business ventures and branding. He has a cannabis brand, Willie's Reserve, which contributes to income. Other sources reported include his real estate holdings and properties, such as a home in Hawaii and Texas assets. Challenges. Commentary. He once had serious tax problems back in 1990 when the IRS claimed he owed about 16.7 million United States dollars. He settled these through releasing an album and other creative financial arrangements. Despite the high earnings, some sources say his net worth is not as big as people might assume. given his long career and the costs of touring, estates, etc. Lifestyle and living, residences and real estate. He owns a home in Spicewood, Texas, often called his ranch, which has been a long-term base. He also owns a property in Maui, Hawaii, purchased in the 1980s, valued at several $1 million. Vehicles, transport. Known to favor classic vehicles, trucks, etc. He once used a biodiesel-powered tour bus. Daily habits and personal choices. He has been a longtime advocate of cannabis and started his own brand in line with that. However, more recently, in reports from 2025, he has said he can no longer smoke weed due to lung issues. He uses edibles instead. For breakfast, he reportedly eats oatmeal every morning, and for dinner sometimes bacon and eggs. Values, activities, and health. He continues to tour and make music, showing he wants to stay active. He engages in causes he cares about: farm aid, helping family farmers, animal welfare, rescuing horses, etc.